Welcome to Winters Wellness Center. I'm Dr. Winters, and I want to share with you today some important information regarding your care in our office and allow you to know what to expect on your first visit to our office. Now, we focus on people with chronic health problems, people who have had a problem for a while and haven't gotten over it, maybe haven't gotten any help anywhere else. We work with people both neurologically and metabolically to affect those changes. Now, today I also want to share with you just a moment about myself. Rather than talk about my 3,000 hours of continuing education, I want to share with you where I learned some deep principles. I grew up on a farm in northwest Iowa. I was probably 9 or 10 years old, and my parents tied a rope around me out in the middle of a blizzard. And the reason that we were out in that blizzard that was really so severe you could barely see your outstretched hand in front of you, 10 degrees below zero before the wind chill, and slogging through snowdrifts as tall as I was because we had to get a job done. We had to get the cows milked. And if you lived on a farm and you milked cows, it didn't make any difference how cold it was, how snowing it was, what you felt like, you had to get the job done. So I learned some principles then. And I also know if you have a chronic health problem and we're going to get you back to maximum health, you're going to have to work at this also. And I want to tell you that up front, just to be square with you. You're going to need to change your diet in many cases. In many cases, you're going to need to take supplements. In many cases, you're going to need to get adjusted, and you're going to need to keep your appointments. I'm also going to have some follow-up videos with you that are going to allow you to know what to expect in our office and more information about your care. I also want your spouse to watch those videos as well. One, I want them to be able to support you. And two, if you and your spouse together make decisions about out-of-pocket financial expenses, I want them to come to the report of findings visit so we can lay out the game plan for you in helping you to get healthier. Now, I also want to share with you a story about a fireman and a carpenter. If you were going down the street and saw your house on fire as you were coming home at night, who would you call? Would you call your dentist? Or would you call the fireman? You would call the fire department because they have the tools to put out the fire. They've got spray hoses and axes to get the fire out. And the next morning when you wake up with a mess, who would you call? Your fireman or your carpenter? Sure, you'd call the carpenter because they're the one with the tools to help rebuild your home. And in this analogy, the fireman is your medical doctor. Great for emergencies, great for acute care. Keep them, you may need them. But you also need somebody like a carpenter, like myself, to help you rebuild your health. So lots of things that we're going to do are going to look different than a fireman. We're going to do things more along the lines of a carpenter. And when you come in for your first visit, there are certain things that we'll do on that visit. A thermal scan that's going to measure heat along your spine. Run this instrument up your spine to measure heat, which will reflect back on nerve circuits going to your organs. We're going to do electromyography, which will measure the muscle activity on your spine. No needles, just small electrodes along your spine. And that will tell us where muscles are too relaxed and where they're too tense. We'll also do something called heart rate variability, where your hand just goes in a meter here, and it measures the timing between the beats of your heart. The reason that that's important is because of this autonomic nervous system here. You'll see a nerve supply to the heart that speeds the heart, a nerve supply that slows the heart. How well those work in balance tells us a great deal about your adaptability to stress. Now, we'll also be doing some neurological type testing with you. Things such as have your eyes closed and bring a finger to your nose, that sort of thing, or walk one foot in front of another, test your reflexes, and so on. We want to be able to determine which side of the brain needs support. Everyone has one area of the brain, side of the brain that doesn't function or fire as well as the other side. If we can bring that up into balance, that improves many, many health concerns. We also work with people much on an electrical level as well. Now, we're not used to seeing that as much in healthcare. We're used to seeing mechanical and chemical levels of healthcare. But our bodies work on an electrical level, and our world works on an electrical level. If I'm a quarter block from my home, I can touch my garage door opener and my garage door will open. And how does that happen? A frequency is sent from this garage door opener that goes through a windshield this thick, goes that quarter block, and goes through a garage door this thick, and my garage door opens because the garage door opener was set at the same frequency. So if those frequencies match, the garage door opens. Somebody else drives down the street with a different frequency in their garage door opener, pushes their button, my garage door doesn't open. So we use those same principles in your health care as well. We're going to do reflex muscle testing, which works with the body on an electrical level. Even before we do that reflex muscle testing, we'll often use a laser light with you just to clear off the static electrical charges that you've accumulated during the day from cell phones, computers, and so forth. Then we're going to take a strong arm as a monitor. It could be an arm here, or it could be at your fingers, but we're going to take a strong muscle. We're going to touch a reflex point. For example, this is the reflex point for your stomach. If I touch here with light pressure and you weaken, I know that electrically your stomach was off balance, and it's probably going to need nutritional support. Likewise, there are reflexes for your colon, your large intestine, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, cell energy, brain. All the areas of your body have reflex points, and those can give us tremendous information on where to look to help you get healthy. And we'll apply that together with the information that we learned from your questionnaires and history and so forth. We'll also use some very little vials that are encoded with different frequencies, such as if I hold a vial up with you that's encoded with the frequency of milk and you weaken, I know that on an electrical level your body could be sensitive to milk. And we'll use those vials to get other information as well. Now on your next visit, which we call a report of findings, is where we're going to get the game plan together with you to help you get as healthy as possible. You see, we want to enhance your health, extend your life, and have maximum impact on your life. I want your spouse to come to that report of findings visit also. We look forward to seeing you, and there will be some other visits or other videos for you to watch as well. We look forward to seeing you and to making a great change in your health. Thank you.